That first day at Abbey Gate, after we were working to push back the crowds, I was on the ground, and a little girl had squeezed her way through the crowd of about 7 or 8 years old, holding a 4-month-old, I would estimate 4 or 5-month-old baby in her arms, and holding the hand of who I assumed to be her little brother, who was about 4 or 5 years old. And they were all dirty and bruised, tear-streaked faces, and kind of in this chaos, it was just like I had tunnel vision and saw her, and I was like, I need to help them. It was just a very odd sight to see. And I picked up the baby and the little boy, and she followed me, like motioned for her to follow me. And to get to a safe area away from the crowd, I noticed that the baby's face was blue and purple. And so I went to the nearest person that resembled a medic and started asking if they had a small breathing bag, a BVM, to conduct CPR, because I didn't know if the baby had already passed, but assumed it wasn't breathing, and didn't want to injure the baby by trying to perform CPR on it myself. And the individual, I don't know who it was. I sat there and watched them help resuscitate this baby, and face flushed pink, started crying, and then the little girl started asking for her dad, just crying and tugging on my uniform. I took her back to the gate and could tell that she was asking for her father, and climbed up on the SUVs overlooking the razor wire and held her up, and was just trying to ask her, do you see your dad, like Abba, like trying to, make her understand what I was saying, and she understood. And we sat up there for a minute or two, and in this crowd of hundreds of people below us, she just pointed in the direction, maybe 30, 40 people back, and there's all these hundreds of people holding up papers, documents, whatnot, and there's this one individual just holding a bunch of family's luggage with his hands on his head, just crying and looking at her. And I was like, that is her dad. And I let the troops down right there at the opening of the gate know to help get this guy through, pulled him through. And the little girl hopped off the SUV and ran to him, and hugged him, and he hugged her. Both cried, took and reunited them with the other 2 children. And he had paperwork for all of those families, showing their pictures and whatnot. And so for me, that was a moment that my personal injury was worth it. And I know those 3 little kids will have a life of freedom and opportunity now because of that. Thank you.